Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Danimal Weekly number 12. I am Dan Andrews from IntegrityAthletics.com. For today's topic of the week, we're going to be talking about criticism and critics and whether or not we should pay any attention to them and what sort of role they play in our lives and in training. And the best way I can describe what criticism and what critics do for you is through a story. I recently was told a story by my good friend Nick. His dad, me and my buddy Nick and his dad all went to a cigar lounge. We were sitting around talking for a long time. The story was shared with me by Nick's dad. And it was a great story. I'm going to tell it forever from now on, and I really enjoyed it. And the point is potent. And so, as the story goes, it's told in, it's a biblical reference story. So, Virgin Mary was pregnant with Jesus, and she had to be moved from one town to like Bethlehem to have Jesus or whatever. This isn't in the Bible, it's just a reference with same characters. And so an old man was going to escort her to this next town. And she was going to ride this donkey, and he was going to escort her and the donkey to the next town. It's a Bethlehem. And so this is all set up, and they head out, first day, and they're going along. Old man's pulling the donkey by its like rope or reins or whatever it's got on, and Virgin Mary's on top of the donkey. And so they're coming through the first town, and there's all these ladies in a river next to the town washing clothes on like washboards and whatnot. And so they see this woman on this donkey and this poor old man pulling the donkey. And, they look at it and they're like, man, that poor old guy, he's about to die. He looks like he's 90, and there's this young lady on top of this donkey while he's killing himself, trying to pull this donkey. And so the Virgin Mary and the old man overhear this. So Virgin Mary gets all guilty and feels terrible, and she gets off the donkey. She's like, you got to ride the donkey. I can't handle that. I don't want to feel responsible in case anything happens. So the old man's pissed, but, he gets up on the donkey. He grieves for a little while. So go through the next town. There's all these guys building a new house, and they look over and they see this old man on the donkey, and they're like, what a fucking asshole. This old, perfectly able man is riding this donkey while this poor little girl who's like 9 months pregnant, who's about to give birth on the spot, is pulling this lazy ass on this donkey. Like, what the hell? So now the old man overhears this, and now he's pissed. So he's like, fuck this, I'm getting off the donkey. So he gets off the donkey, they both start arguing. They're like, they can't decide who's going to ride the donkey because they both feel terrible. So nobody rides a donkey. Going through this next town, and there's all these townspeople, running around or whatever. All these townspeople see these two people with a perfectly good donkey, and they're all saying to each other, what a bunch of fucking retards. They have a perfectly good donkey, and not one of them is riding it. It's like, so the moral of the story is, no matter what, people are going to criticize you. Whether you're making the right moves, making the right choices, doing the right thing, or you're doing the wrong thing, making the wrong choices, people are always going to criticize you. There will never be a lack of critics and criticism. And honestly, what that story really boils down to is anyone who's willing to criticize you and try to negatively influence you and discourage you from doing anything positive should just go die. Like, they're worthless. Like, they should get fucked, honestly. It's probably the best way I should put it. My tolerance for those sorts of people is lessening day by day. I cannot stand negative people, nor people that criticize one another without any sort of respect given to the other individual or knowledge on the topic. And that's not to say constructive criticism isn't useful. If you have a particular circle of individuals that you love and respect, and you value their opinion and their thoughts, then by all means let those people criticize you and take it to heart, because those are the people that care about you and the people that you respect. But anybody else you should not, their opinions and criticisms are worth absolutely nothing. And if you could at all become possible tone deaf to anything they say, you'd be much better off. Like Nick's dad said that same night, those people that are willing to kind of discourage you and criticize you, they're not going to do shit with their lives. And that's basically absolutely true. I don't know anyone noteworthy that criticizes and discourages people that's achieved any level of success. So in the gym or outside in any other sort of venture that you may have throughout life. So don't pay attention to your critics. Try to surround yourself by positive and encouraging people, and don't pay attention, because, as like that story demonstrates, there will always be people willing to criticize you. Thanks, guys, for listening. This was the Danimal Weekly number 12. I will have the article up later in the week. I'll be in Philadelphia, so hopefully I'll have that up on time. All you guys have a good one. Peace out. Fly.